So in the last video, we saw an example of the useReducer hook. And today we are going to see another easy example to understand the useReducer. So today we will be creating a stopwatch using a useReducer hook, and it will have a start button, a stop button, and also a reset button. So you already know the function and the syntax and how useReducer is going to help us. So let us just jump into the code directly. So I'm going to create a new file inside my components folder. It will be named stopwatch.js. Now inside stopwatch.js, I'm going to import my useReducer from React. Along with that, I'm also going to add use effect and useRef. I hope you have checked out our video on useRef. If not, then you can check it out. We have already created a video on userefs. Okay, moving on. We are going to create our initial state. So const initial state. This is assigned to is running, which is set to false. And next, the time initially will be set to 0. Okay, so we want the time initially to be 0 and it should not be in the running state in the beginning. So the stopwatch should be in the stop state. Now we are going to export default the function stopwatch. Now we will add our useReducer hook. So we will create const. It will have state and dispatch assigned to useReducer, which will take reducer and initial state. Reducer is not defined right now. We will see that later. Next, we are going to create id ref and assign it to useRef. Now we will be using our use effect. So inside use effect, we are going to add our if statement, which is going to check that if state dot is running is not true, then we are going to return something. So we will just return. If it is not running, then we don't have to do anything. But after checking this, we are going to add our id ref dot current, and we are going to add our set interval function. So set interval, we've already used this function a lot of times. So set interval, this is going to add dispatch, and here we will assign the type to tick, and after that we will assign the interval. So the interval is 1000, that is 1 second. And after this we will return clear interval. Clear interval will take id ref dot current and id ref dot current will be set to 0. After this, we will add our state and is running. And we will close our function. Now we are going to add our return statement for the function. So return, and inside that we will add a div, and inside this div we will add state dot time and second. Now inside another div okay, so inside another div we will add 3 buttons. So button, it will have on click. This on click will use dispatch function. So dispatch, and we will set the types. So first type is set to start, and this button will display start. Similarly, we will have the stop button. So instead of start, this will be stop, and this will also be stop. And lastly, we will have that reset button. So this will be reset, and this will also be reset. Now after this, we are going to add our reducers. So function reducer, which will take state and action as its argument, and here we will add our switch statement. So you see that how easily using reducers we can do our work so easily. No extra piece of code you have to write anywhere. This is so simple. Just write a switch statement, add your case inside that, and just go ahead with whatever. You can see the logic is also very clear. You know that what are you going to do in the start case. You know what you're going to do inside the reducer, and it is so simple in syntax also. So we will return the copy of the previous state, and is running will be set to, obviously it will be set to true because we have clicked on the start button. So the stopwatch should start working. So after this case we will add, so we'll add our next case. So our next case will be stop. Now inside return, what are we going to return? Same, the copy of the previous state, and is running should be set to false. Obviously it should be false, only then the stop button is going to actually work like a stop button. And our case, the last case is default, but we also need one more case, that is reset. So in reset, what we are going to do is we will return the original state. So inside that we will add state, and no, inside this we are not going to return the copy of the previous state because that will be different. So instead we are just going to add is running, and we will set it to false because originally it was false. So false, and the time must be set to 0 again. So that is how it is going to reset. And lastly, our default case, which is case default. We'll add one more case, that is tick, because we've already added that here. You can see that. So in tick, we are going to add our return. So return, here we will return the copy of the previous state, and the time will be set to state dot time plus 1. So the time must start increasing. This is what tick is doing. How will your stopwatch behave like a stopwatch? When it runs according to the time. And now we will add our default case. So default, here we will just throw new error. So there is something different which we are doing wrong. So now we will go ahead and whatever lines you are seeing, the red lines, that is because of ESLint. So you can leave that, and you will see a quick fix option. So whenever you are getting an error, you will see a quick fix option right there. So if you click on that, then it will be fixed. Now we will render our stopwatch. So I will just add my stopwatch component inside app.js, and also I want to make sure that index.js doesn't have any provider or the tough concepts. We will just keep it to React strict mode, and everything is very simple. So now if we save all our files, then we will see the output. So initially it is 0 seconds, and we have 3 buttons: start, stop and reset. So let us go ahead and click on start. So you can see it is going from 1 second, 2 second, 3 second. It is going on increasing, and it works like a stopwatch. You just have the seconds here, but in a stopwatch you can see the milliseconds also. Now if we hit on stop, then it will stop at 15 seconds only, and if we press reset, then it is going to 0. If we hit on start, then again 1, 2, 3, and if I hit start again, so it will again start from here only. So this is how we made a stopwatch using our useReducer hook. And that's it for today's video. Do like our video, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next video.